gonna fly. Oh boy, there it goes. Oh my goodness, look at that thing go. That's the coolest thing ever. It is the Mini Maker Faire. Britta Evans-Fenton with us from Art Engine. Good morning to you. We saw you last year.
Yeah.
Things have grown literally exponentially.
Yes.
Okay.
We have way more makers this year than we did last year. I don't know if you remember me from last year, but yeah, we have 3 times as many. We have workshops this year. We have a screening this year, and it's at a way bigger venue with the Canada Science Technology Museum.
Canada Science and Technology Museum. And if you don't know what a Maker Faire is, maybe you can explain to us.
It's basically a celebration of art, craft, DIY, science, engineering, and basically a bunch of makers come together. Show off their projects, show off their booth. It's kind of like a craft fair, but instead of a focus being on selling crafts, it's more of a focus on showing off your projects. So that's why I brought some of the makers, just to show off their projects.
Yeah, I like that. Darcy Whyte is a maker. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. You make these.
Yes.
Do they have a particular name, these planes?
This is Squirrel Model Airplane.
Squirrel Model Airplane.
Yeah.
And it's made from what kind of wood?
This is balsa wood and then ordinary tissue paper and special rubber.
Special
which
rubber.
forms the engine or the motor.
Right.
So you just give it a few turns and then give it a light toss.
Oh, you do? Okay.
You let the propeller go, give a little push, and then, you know.
Whoa!
Like
Oh,
so.
that's really fast. And you know what? They're really hardy, actually.
They bounce.
Yeah.
They don't
This would be
generally
really
break.
fun on a low wind day outside. And with just how many feet?
Maybe a few hundred.
A few hundred feet.
Soccer field type thing.
My 4-year-old is thinking that's pretty cool. And you, these are for sale?
Yeah, those are kits. You can see them at the Maker Faire this weekend.
Okay. And
or at rubberpower.com.
Excellent. And there's something else you do, and I'm going to just plug it in. It's battery powered, right?
Yes, this is called Dinky Motor. It's like a science kit for children.
Oh.
They just let me get in there.
There we go.
See what's going. Yeah. So kids will make that and learn about magnetism, electricity, and all that stuff. It's a bit of a science kit.
So that's kind of cool, learning, and I know it's a simple little engine, but that's how things begin in children's minds, right? They start to get an idea of what they want to do. I like that. And so from there, you could get into computers, you could get into anywhere from there. What's around your neck?
Well, this is Lumi Pendant, which is another project. It's a socially aware pendant. Uses infrared communications, and it shows your social patterns through the light patterns and colors.
Wow.
So it'll know how social you've been. So coming to a party near you.
I would melt mine. All right, let's head over to other makers here. We have Olivia and Andrew Pelling. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. Tell me about this project. This seems like an amazing social experiment.
Well, it actually started with Olivia and I went bird banding at Innis Point Observatory.
Okay.
And we were actually in the Maker Faire last year individually, as Olivia's a violin maker and I'm a professor at the University of Ottawa. And we thought we'd collaborate on something, so the obvious thing was to make a violin that tweets.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Not just tweets bird sounds, which we'll hear in just 1 second, but tweets on Twitter.
Yep.
I like this, and there it is. It's ready to go. And maybe we can get to Olivia to play a note or two, and then we'll explain what's happening, okay? So here we go. That is so cool. Hear that? All right, so there are several different birds that we heard, and they actually tweet out brisk bird songs. So every one of these birds is endangered.
That's right, every one of them.
Okay, and how does it work from the violin to the tweeting?
So basically, when Olivia's playing, the frequencies you hear the most from the violin correspond to birds that are least endangered.
Okay.
And the frequencies you don't hear as much, so the really high or really low frequencies, correspond to the most endangered birds.
That's amazing.
So you'll see them, you'll hear them, and then, of course, it's live tweeting, so people online can learn about them.
That's excellent. And I wonder, have you learned a ton about birds through this?
I have, yes.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And you know, they're the original song makers, so it's kind of cool. That's a very good idea. I like the fact that there are no boundaries to the creativity here. You have an idea, go ahead and get crazy with it, right?
And that's kind of how we want to inspire people as well. We're encouraging people to come to the Maker Faire and really be inspired, and it's kind of why we put it close to the beginning of the school year. Inspire your kids so they can start their school year off really great.
And I don't think you're ever too old to use your brain in a creative way, right?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. There you go. From the simple, well, not so simple, you know, to the more complicated, to something that almost seems like a true experiment, or you know, mixed with art. That is so cool. Tell me about where and when. It's at the Canada Science and Tech Museum. I'll take care of where and when.
It is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, so August 31st and September 1st, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days.
Okay, and
So-
is there a special admission to get in?
It is free for the actual fair itself.
Okay.
If you want to visit the museum on top of that, that is an extra charge. But the actual Maker Faire, we try to make it free, we try to make it accessible. So come on out, it is
Yeah,
definitely fun.
if you remember last year's segment, we had a ton of 3D printing. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen that, that's fun to look at. There's
Yeah.
so much more to talk about, but we only have a certain amount of time in the morning, right?
Well, actually, we have a 3D printing Hamlet this year. Like in New York's Maker Faire, there's a 3D printing village. We're a little smaller than New York's Maker Faire, so ours is called a 3D printing Hamlet. So it's
But
got.
who is the Reeve? That's the question. All right, make sure you check that out. So much fun. Hashtag it MMFO at Maker Faire Ought. There you go.
Yeah.
And follow along this weekend along with some bird tweets. Maybe you can play us out a little bit here as we tweet away on CTV Morning Live.